Travis Jack Webb with you. Young Black Bear fan, using the stands as a jungle gym. Getting ready for the second half, as are we. 3-point game, Black Bears on top, 32-29. And it's been an interesting out-of-conference slate for the America East, too. Very respected conference, as we see the standings here, the Jersey Maine America East standings. Albany currently with the best record in the out-of-conference slate, 5-2. Maine, though, right there, tied with two others, NJIT and good old friends Vermont at 5-4. Bryan with a 5-5 record, 4-5 for New Hampshire. You're seeing a lot of success, too, not just on the women's side of things, but the men's side, too, where the America East is starting to pick up some big out-of-conference victories this year.
Yeah, you always kind of wonder in that preseason, pre-conference schedule, who are they playing? Are they playing some dominant teams? But again, Maine always tries to, and they usually do. So Maine's always trying to get tougher and getting better as they go into conference. But Albany, they lost about 9 players last year, but as you mentioned, Brian, they still have their best player back. So again, and they have a great coaching staff at Albany as well. So it'll be interesting as we go down through the conference between Vermont, Albany, and Maine.
Yeah, Vermont, much like Maine, scheduled a very tough out-of-conference slate too. Really commend them for doing so. As the Catamounts trying to go back-to-back. They snapped a Black Bear losing streak last year, and they look to be primed to be one of the best teams in conference along with the Black Bears. Well, coming up for the Maine Black Bears, we can actually see the America East schedule coming on the horizon. James Madison will be the next game. We'll have that one for you here on the 17th at 1 p.m. on ESPN+. Then some road contests. They'll be taking on Duquesne on the 20th, too. They'll have Penn in there as well. So they'll be going down to Louisiana for a tournament. But then, as you see right around the corner, January 4th, the UMass Lowell Riverhawks, still looking for their first victory of the season, will be taking on the Black Bears at home to start off conference play.
Well, that Penn team, the Pennsylvania team that they'll be playing, is another Ivy League team. They're in the 3rd place right now in the Ivy League, right behind Harvard. They're at 5-3 right now. I'm not sure what they'll be when they play Maine. But again, another strong team on the road for Maine.
Harvard, by the way, this is the start of a 5-game road trip. They have played 2 home games. One was on November 12th versus Quinnipiac, a big win for them, 85-41. And then the last game versus Michigan, which ended up being a 14-point loss. But then, BU, not necessarily a road game. None of these are very far away, but still, BU, UMass Lowell, Rhode Island, Delaware, all on the road before finally back to start conference play versus Yale on the 8th.
Well, out of those games, I think Maine is probably their longest road trip. But yet they've got all 5 games on the road, and that's going to be right before final exams for them, too. And I believe they're a school that does not play or practice during final exam week. So.
Well, still should be setting up for a good next 20 minutes. We'll step aside, come back with more here at the break, because it's Maine 32, Harvard 29. Be back with more on ESPN+. Teams in the first half, when you look at the shots taken and the shots made, they're identical so far between these two teams. The only differential is the free throws. Maine has hit 2 more and 1 more three-pointer. Otherwise, pretty similar stats.
Well, yeah, exactly. Evenly matched for sure. 12 for 25 for the field goal, 13 rebounds, 8 assists. Maine's taken 1 more three-point shot than Harvard has. And Harvard is winning in the paint right now. They've had some great little drop-step moves and little hook shots into the paint and going after the offensive rebound hard. So, pretty even teams.
Absolutely, which makes for a good and fun anticipation for the start of the second half. Well, there was some frustrations for Coach Amy Vachon that we noticed early on in the contest as well. And our Jack Webb was able to get some insights from Amy as well.
Yeah, guys, I spoke with Coach Vachon during the break. She said she's happy with the way her team shot the basketball in the first half, but she's looking for more effort on the defensive rebounds, as well as more intensity breaking that full-court press.
Be interesting to see, too. We've seen Amy get some fired-up nature, too. And actually, Jack, I think you mentioned that you got some reminiscence, some flashbacks maybe to your time in the gridiron, too, when you saw Amy start to get a little bit more vocal.
Yeah, after that first quarter, Coach Vachon got into the team pretty good, and it felt good to not be on the receiving end of one of those for sure.
Well, I think Coach Vachon was probably upset with the turnovers that Maine had. Maine was struggling a little bit against that full court pressure, but hopefully they've corrected those errors.
Now we're happy to have not only Sandy back with me for another year. This marks our 8th season together, I believe. And Jack with his 2nd broadcast, so a little bit later in the game's regard too, but a welcome addition too. Coming from the gridiron right into the broadcast side of things in basketball, and we're happy to have.
Well, we're going to miss Jack, though, up there with the rest of the football team on these in the America East playoffs if we have them here, or any big games that are here. We're going to miss him cheering up there in the football
We
section.
still have footage, too, of last season. Let's not forget.
Yeah, we can use that against him at any time.
No, the leaders, one of the reasons why this was such a tough place to play in the America East. Black Bears start off with a basketball, same starting five out there here to start the second half. Borman, early three-point attempt, no good, and a rebound there by Katie Krupa. Of course, Harvard switching now, going towards the basket to our left, wearing the crimson and white, befitting the Harvard team. Black Bears in their home whites. This one underneath, blocked. Still pinballing around, but it will be last touched by number 31, Krupa, and out of play.
That's just aggressive, weak side defense by Ian Simon coming across that lane to help.
Again, 3 Harvard players with 2 fouls. They have a very short bench, only 8 active players. Maine, good passing, around. Rockwood for a corner 3, no good again. Maine again continuing to struggle now, 2 for 10 from beyond the arc.
That's a good shot, though, for Olivia Rockwood. It was a good pass. She was open on that. That's where she likes to stick those three-point shots. So that's a good shot for her to take. Just didn't fall.
Again, finals looming for both teams in the classroom. Really have to commend all these athletes, too, for excelling not only on the hardwood, but in the classroom. Both teams with very high GPAs. Shot clock down to 9. Smith looking for the reverse layup, then blocked. Great job there by Carly White getting her hands in there.
Yeah, Harvard's doing a great job as well, coming over from that weak side, help defense.
Still looking for her first points after the first 1 minute and 8 seconds off the clock. Good passing. Mulaney's trying to open up the bucket, and she'll do so after it dances on the iron for a few bounces.
Yeah, not only do these teams, shoot the same percentage and the number of shots, but they also run a little bit of the same offense in the sense that you get that nice backdoor cut from the high post.
Good trap there. White comes out with it. Looking to take the lead. Mulaney, back-to-back buckets, 4 points and 13 overall after the 4 points in the second half. And a takeaway here. And Simon says, anything you can do, I can do better than White says, no, I want to steal too.
Harvard has got their active hands going.
Another one through. That's 7 points to start off the second half and a 4-point lead for Harvard.
Yeah, Maine's got to be, they've got to remember you can be quick, but don't be in a hurry against the press, because that's exactly what the press wants you to do, is to panic and throw the ball away.
So Maine's 3-point lead at the break evaporated just like that, now finding themselves down by 4. Is that three-pointer no good? Long rebound back out to Simon. Deep 3 for Rockwood, also going to be just a little off. Bodies falling down to the hardwood, a lot of massive humanity.
Well, did that shot clock change at all off that? I thought that hit the rim.
Yeah, I think it did hit the rim and it reset to 20. Now down, trickled to 4. Adriana throws that one up, but a foul will be drawn. We'll see what's on.
It's on number 10, I believe.
Yes, it's going to be on Rodriguez, and that'll just be her second. Glenn Bello checks out. Coming into the contest will be Abigail Wright. It's going to be a huge victory if Harvard can pull off the victory in this one as the hush comes across the Memorial Gym crowd. First one up and through for Smith. She's now up to 5.
Yeah, especially with their top scorer, Harmony Turner, averaging 20.6 points per game, not on the court.
And what a game she had last year. Jack alluded to it back in the pregame, but she also set a career high with 7 steals versus Maine. It was just an absolute thorn in the side of the Black Bears. Right, looking at some options. She'll just take this one towards the hoop. Three-pointer's no good. Rebound by Borman, and quickly outlets it to Simon. Rockwood for 3. That time it's money.
And that's what a player like Rockwood has to do. She just missed her last 2 3-point shots. She's got to shoot. She's a scorer, and she's a shooter. She's got to keep shooting. It'll fall.
Second three-pointer for Rockwood. Now a half dozen points for her. Start off the contest with a three-pointer. 6:38 remaining in the third quarter. Nice move there. Rodriguez can't finish it. Going across the lane and trying to seal that one off on the left side.
Yeah, Sarah Tellin did a good job of forcing her outside that lane, though.
Whistle here. Foul will be called on Harvard. And again, we keep a watchful eye. Handful of players with 2 fouls now for Harvard, and not a deep bench. As Talon checks out, she'll be subbed in for her sophomore counterpart, JC Christopher, as the Wyndham Maine native checks out for the Skowhegan Maine native. That will be on Abby Wright. As she picks up her first.
Olivia Rockwood, the coaches over at the Harvard bench, was yelling for travel, which I think they may have been right. She was that little stutter step when she catches the ball.
Technically, that would be a pivot though, and it's just moving, so it's not dragging. So I guess it's.
Yeah, if she's got a pivot foot established, she's just moving the other foot quickly, but it's still a little bit deceiving.
It's a tough one. This is the shot. Mulaney, probably not the best one, maybe a little ill-advised. Glenn Bello though, using her length, getting her arms in there. Finds Wright, can't get that one, and then a foul will be called. We'll see if it's on Smith or Rockwood, though.
And Maine's being a little bit soft with the basketball off the dribble and the pass.
Be called on Adriana Smith, will be her first. Abigail Wright checks in to the free throw line, averaging just a shade under 8 points per contest. She's already got 6, hoping to get right around that mark here from the stripe. Little jinx there. It's not the player to watch, Jinx, that Sandy's accommodated and
I hesitate to name the key player to watch anymore. I tend to jinx them either get injured or they're not playing or
the good
foul
news,
trouble or something.
Yeah, the good news is Lola Mulaney's picked up now, I think 13 points. Maybe a little bit more than that. 3-point shot buried there from Sarah Hodgson, who throws up the 3 with both hands.
And it's good recognition too by Adriana Smith on the assist.
This one knocked out of play.
I think the bench is getting a warning over there from Harvard at this point.
Yeah, Coach Moore is not happy, thinking there's a lot more travels than being whistled out there on the court. Maine back with a 3-point lead now after that. And Simon so far today, just 4 points for her, so a little bit lighter than normal. And again, the Sandy Thomas jinx on full display. Mulaney, though, has been immune from that. Rebound, though, after that one is missed. She has 7 points in the second half, though.
See, but the thing is, with Ann Simon, I know she's gonna really bear down and take this team on her back here the rest of this game.
Curse breaker, like the 04 Red Sox, huh? Christopher, that's a deep 3, and it's cash money. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. Maine with her largest lead of the game so far, a 6-point advantage with 4:53 left to go in the third on ESPN+. Sometimes you just need that encouragement and the confidence in your own skills, and that seems like exactly what Gaddy was telling.
We might have another one here.
And there it is, JC for 3 for the 4th time tonight.
But I also attribute that to both of those baskets were excellent ball movement offensively.
And we talk about that sophomore step-up season, and we thought a lot of people were saying, Sarah Talon, she was showing that brilliance early on and really taking her form. As this one, good move towards the dish. Rodriguez gets her own rebound after the miss. But a lot of people are saying JC Christopher is likely the person who's going to take that step up. A little slow out of the gate here, but this might be her breakout game of her sophomore season.
Well, it also is confidence. And Sarah's got good confidence. For one thing, I think Sarah's got to get a little more physically stronger. I think she's working on that. JC Christopher, though, she is gaining her confidence. And if she had a talk with Coach Gaddy, then that's probably helped her a lot. But she's got to be willing to take that shot. And as a young player, sometimes you don't know what you're coming from in a high school coaching situation. Sometimes they tell them not to take certain shots or whatever. But if she's got the green light from this coaching staff, she should be taking that shot.
46-39, Maine on top. Hit 4 of those 6. JC Christopher just 9 minutes, and then, by the way, a little overzealous with the 3-pointers on my on my side. Thought she had her fourth. She's actually 3 for 3. She's 2 for 2 from the stripe and 3 for 3 overall. 9 total points, or 11 total points in 9 minutes. Is pretty efficient. And here's Annika Halen. That looks like it might get deflected, but right into the possession of Smith for 2. Smith now just with 7 total points, so a little under her average. White with 2 points. She's starting to heat up. She had a really good start to this contest and picked up 2 fouls and had to reside on the bench for most of the first half. Just over 3 minutes to play in the third. Tight contest, 6 points. Maine led by 3 at the break. Christopher gets the screen set. Dishes over. Corner 3 for Bournemouth. No good. Rebound pulled down from Smith again. She's trying to work on another double-double. And this time we'll get fouled. Third foul on the Crimson so far in the quarter. That'll be Carly White and her third. As Coach Moore looks down at the bench trying to determine whether or not she wants to make a substitution. Quick pass in, Smith over to Simon. She drives in through the lane. Oh, what a good jump stop there for 2.
That's a tough shot, too. Dead center of the basket, dead center of the lane. It's a tough shot.
Your momentum should be taking you towards the basket, but almost just stopped time and space and said, oh, no, I'm just going to go straight up. Another foul call.
Well, she's a lefty, so sometimes that's difficult to defend as well. So.
Second foul on Adriana Smith. 8-point lead for the Blackbears here currently. Matches their largest lead of the contest. And little space here. Mulaney trying to bury that one. No good. And then rebound attempt from Rodriguez, but can't get that one aligned.
That baseline, too, here in the pit is sometimes very hard to judge where that baseline is.
Lola Mulaney just 2 points away now from moving into 10th all-time in Harvard program history. 5-second call. Some frustration there from Simon and the Bears.
I don't know how much leeway, how much freedom they have in calling a timeout in that situation.
Maine still has 3 left at their disposal, but decided not to take one here. Knowing that this could be a tight contest later on. Oh, good feed in there and an even better finish there for Wright.
Yeah, that's good positioning and a good feed.
6-point game, Maine on top by a half dozen. Simon gets it into Smith, but there's going to be a foul call there as Elena Rodriguez slaps the arm of Adriana.
Adriana's really so physically strong. She gets a really wide base when she posts up, pulls the defensive player off.
Nice pass and feed in there. Just good body positioning on Borman there. And the finish for Rodriguez. Borman calling the shots, hands it off to Simon.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
nice
what
play.
a good
nice
backdoor
play.
cut. Smith to Simon for 2. Maine up by 8. Krupa swings it in. Another good move, but good. At least it looked and appeared to be a good, clean defensive stand there from Simon. But you can see on her face, I don't think she agrees with the whistle.
Yeah, a little bit of a late whistle here, but I think there was some contact.
A little bit of a reach, a little bit of a contact. Not as egregious as we've seen before, but still probably accurate. Free throw for Abigail Wright is good.
And Simon right now has 3 fouls, so.
Veteran player like her, you'd imagine she'll be able to finish out the next 10 minutes plus.
I don't know. I think I might be trying to get her out with 1:38 left in this period, though. But we'll
That's
see.
true.
I mean, again, Coach Vachon knows her player better than I do. So.
Oh, this is a trap in the corner. Maine is going to break this one. Over with 3 seconds to spare. Smith drives in. Simon 3. Good. Simon says, give me a triple.
Another great assist.
Good move. Mulaney trying to get that one through. No good. There's going to be a foul. And it's going to be called, I think, on Harvard. Little push off underneath. Yeah, Katie Krupa picks up the foul. You'll see that here at the center of your screen. Just a little push, actually maybe a little slap off of Boardman's arm.
He's shooting a one-on-one on this?
No, if it's the fifth foul, it's 2 shots coming from Boardman.
Yeah.
So great to see Annika Halen back out there too. Her second game back from an injury. Didn't know if she'd ever play basketball again, let alone for the Black Bears, but came back for another year. And when she came in, it was such a nice, rousing show of support, a nice show of respect here for the player who spent so much time cheering on her team, finally getting to see some action.
Yeah, she's obviously a fifth-year player, so assuming she's getting her degree in management.
10-point lead for the Black Bears, 64 seconds left on the clock in the third. Harvard without their best player, but have been battling the Black Bears throughout this one. Free throws coming up, though, as Halen being a little overly aggressive here. And both teams over the limit.
The rest of the way is a lot of time to be shooting one-on-ones.
I do like the quarters and the resetting of the fouls, though, too. 5 is a good limit, 2 for 10 minutes. It also nullifies if you get a lot of fouls early on in the half, like we see on the men's side. You're sort of handcuffed for the rest of the half. But not the case with the quarters. Glenn Bello, very impressed with her performance. Krupa swings it in. Right, quick to the hole. Can't get the angle, knocked out of bounds. It'll be Maine basketball with 49.1 left.
Yeah, right now, Maine, again, you cannot allow a post player to receive the ball that low in the middle of the paint. That's going to be 2 points usually. And again, Maine's got to keep trying to push them out of the lane. Not necessarily hands and body, but with their feet.
Norman thought about the 3 instead of working around the perimeter. Shot clock down to 16. Bournemouth for 3, no good. Rebounds pulled down by White. Slows things down in the half court. Shot clock is off. Game clock down to 18 seconds.
Got a 1-4 low set right now for Harvard. They're looking a little confused as to what they're running here.
The deep 3, in and out. Rebound by Boardman. She'll get the shot off. It is in time, but it's off and wide. 3 quarters in the books. It's a 9-point game. Maine on top, 56-47 on ESPN+.
Right now, Harvard has scored 20 points off turnovers to Maine's 8. And also they've scored 32 points in the paint as compared to Maine's 26 in the paint.
Rodriguez now up to 6 points after that one. That one's deflected out of play and into the first row of fans.
One thing I see Maine doing a lot of against this press is that they're throwing a lot of two-handed over-the-head passes. That's basically telling the defense where you're throwing the ball, too. So, again, that's why they've had a lot of deflections on that defense and also some steals off of it.
Simon to Bournemouth. Foul line extended on the left side. Shot clock down to 5. Christopher trying to get in a little closer. Whistle. And she'll be called for the foul, Will Christopher.
She really should have seen that one coming and tried to pull up quicker.
Just too close towards the hoop. She needs to be further away.
Yeah.
All her points coming from beyond the arc or the charity stripe. White crosses the timeline. Hodgson harassing her. And then Glenn Bello feeds it in, but not before the Black Bears pick up their second foul of this.
I think that's
Actually,
Harvard.
no, it's at Harvard. Oh, so it's going to be on Mulaney. It'll be her first. Sarah Talon checks in. Christopher comes out of the contest. Talon, Hodgson. Glenn Bello gets her paws on it. That one up off the glass, and that basket will give Mulaney 10th place in program history in the scoring regard.
Again, two-handed over the head pass. You've got to go behind your head to throw that ball. So that's going to take up a little bit of time for the defense to come in and get a hand on that.
So congratulations there to Mulaney. That three-point shot is up and no good. Rebound pulled down. She's also incredible at three-point shots made, averaging 3 per contest this year is Mulaney. And that's going to be a foul called on Harvard offensively, so another foul back-to-back one's called there. Rodriguez picks up the foul, and that's going to be foul number 4. So she'll check out. Coming in will be Wright. So yeah, that'll be Rodriguez's 4th foul. The only player with 4 fouls, a couple with 3. Quick passing talent now with it. It's going to behoove the Black Bears too. If they have a lead late and you need to play that foul game, that again with a short bench, Sandy, you got to be very particular on who you can allow to actually commit the fouls. And that one, a little slippery fingers there out of play.
Yeah, pretty low pass. And right now they're trying to get shots off low passes, and that's difficult to go up with a shot on that.
Pass to White in the backcourt. Hodgkin's defending her, the junior. Borman trying to telegraph the steal there. They work it in. Wright strong off the glass, but rebound out to Ann Simon on the defensive side. 7:37 left to go in this contest. Maine up by 5. Lakers have led by as many as 10 points earlier in the contest. Harvard had a lead of 5. Talent, three-pointer, and that is good. That is a pretty shot from Sarah Talent.
Yeah, pretty shot from the left-hander. Yeah, Maine needed that one too. They've been a little bit sluggish the last couple times down.
Lakers back up by 8. Lane trying to get some space. Sandy's 2 highlight players guarding each other. Lane goes in, loses that one out of bounds. Official underneath the basket said that was off her leg, and Lola said absolutely not. She's not happy. Caleb back out there.
Sorry, Brian. I was just going to say, I am impressed with Harvard, though. I'm impressed with the fact that they're playing hard. They're doing a great job on their full-court defensive press, getting good shots in the paint without their star player.
That and only having 8 rostered players or uniform players for this contest, too. They're playing with some heart, and they're taking on a Maine team that's playing some of their best basketball here in the last week or so. Borman with a good offensive rebound. Dishes it out. Smith thought about the 3.
Oh, man, they're just telegraphing their passes way too much.
Smith. Not clean passes either. 3 seconds. Simon will get that one blocked. Shot clock violations. Mulaney pulls it down. Maine disjointed on that last 30-plus seconds.
Well, I think that's due to the Harvard's defense. Harvard's really ball hawking, and again, I think some of the passes that Maine's trying to make is a two-handed over-the-head pass across the defense. That just gives way too much time for the Harvard's defense to react.
And for Harvard, it's just chip away the deficit. Delaney's starting to heat up. Going to be a foul called on Cahalan before the shot.
Got beat off the dribble a little bit, tried to put her hand on the hip.
So Christopher comes in, Talon checks out. Seems to be the substitution trend. You swap one sophomore out for the other.
Both have kind of different style of games, though, too.
Oh, good steal there for Bournemouth. Numbers on in Maine's favor right now. Good defensive retreat back for the Crimson.
They need to try not to take it into those corners. That's where they're getting trapped.
Smith looking at her options. The pass in. Christopher off the glass and in with the left hand.
Such patience on Adriana Smith's part. She waited until her teammate got rid of that defensive player.
An absolute collision. We're going to talk it over. Both officials think they're going to call that on the Black Bears here.
Yeah, I think there was a reach before there was a charge, I think.
Bianca Halen, she'll reach that one.
Yeah.
Foreman taking the brunt, though, after the whistle. By the way, 4 fouls on Cahalan, so she's likely not to come back in until the late moments of this contest.
Well, I wonder how much, too, I wonder how much foot speed she's lost as far as moving her feet defensively. But boy, you have got to give her the credit she deserves because of how hard she's worked to get back.
It's a real salient point there, Sandy. Honestly, it's a tough road to hoe to get back to after not 1, not 2, but 3 different knee injuries that she sustained.
Yeah, I think she was about a step slower, appears to me, because she was such a great defensive player before she went down with the first knee injury.
Good move, Adriana Smith, make it 10 points after that one goes through. And the double-double watch, or actually should I say triple-double watch now begins for Adriana. 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and now 10 points for her. A block there, but also a foul called on her.
Looks clean from here, but we are quite the distance away.
11-point lead for the Black Bears as we step aside. 4:57 left to go in the pit here on ESPN+.
Got a chance to listen to Coach Moore's message to this Harvard team in the huddle during the timeout. She said she needs more effort, hustle, and to compete for the 50-50 balls from her girls. She said that'll be a key to coming back in this ballgame.
That will be a key. It's still tons of time. 4:57. Reminiscent to another thing out in Massachusetts. I was thinking hustle, loyalty, and respect, the John Cena credo.
I'm guessing he's somebody in wrestling.
Yeah, he's also an actor, entrepreneur, Sandy.
I think I know who you're talking
We're going to get you up on some of the topics here.
No, I think I know him. He's like a muscle-bound guy.
Yeah. Went to Springfield College playing D3 football for a little bit. Native son of Massachusetts, which is, of course, where Harvard emanates from. Black Bears trying to put away the Crimson and snap a 2-game losing streak, and Sarah Hodgson said, this'll help. Another 3 points.
That's another assist for Adriana Smith as well.
She might get a double-double without the 10 rebounds. Quickly, the answer back the other way. Carly White's had a very, very good, quiet game here in this contest in terms of points. She's just been amassing them here. Boardman for 3. That could have been a huge dagger. Hodgson collides in with her own teammate, but salvages the opportunity. Back to Simon. Smith surveys over to Hodgson, feeding possibly a hot hand, but nope, travel as that kind of got away from her.
And she just patted her head to us, which I think is for the Black Bears. It's a signal that they need a sub.
I would say you're right, because you immediately comes out.
Seen them do it a couple of times, and immediately they get a sub at the table. So. Which is not a bad idea, because if the player feels as though that she's losing her legs or can't.
Mine is just falling to the court. That would be mine.
Yours is just passing out on the court.
Rodriguez also having a pretty good game. And credit where it is due, Harvard has done an excellent job hanging with the Black Bears without their leading scorer and also understaffed because of some injuries.
No, I'm very impressed with this Harvard team.
Some more physicality here between Mulaney and Smith. Not by any means bad-natured, but just 2 of the most aggressive players on the court.
Yeah, and you've got to applaud them because they're battling. They're not just playing, they're battling and competing.
Fans, I think, for the Black Bears wanted the foul. Instead, they get the bad news. It's a possession. Maine keeps it, though. Smith looking for maybe assist number 9. Rockwood doesn't oblige, instead looking for her own, and she'll get it as Boardman buries another big bucket.
This last probably 6 to 7 minutes here of this game has been excellent ball movement on the part of the Black Bears.
That's where you need the old hockey assist. Instead, a steal and a score for Simon. Black Bears with their largest lead of the evening, 13 points over Harvard.
I'm really surprised that Coach Moore isn't calling a timeout here. Not sure how many she has left, but critical time to slow this Maine Black Bear team down with a timeout.
Rodriguez trying to quiet the Black Bear fan base. They're being doted on by the Black Bear bench. Glenn Bello, no good. Rebound and a foul called on Harvard, which will make that bench mob over there to our right even more exciting.
This game's gotten a little bit more physical as we've gotten down towards the last few minutes.
Rockwood to Simon. Over to Adriana Smith. Instantly trapped in the corner, and Maine works around it.
But at least she kept it high. She kept her position high in the corner, not low in the corner. A lot easier to trap and go to that deep corner.
Boardman for three, no good. Rebounds pulled down. White with a defensive rebound, then almost a takeaway, and then that one just ripped. Oh my goodness, the physicality. The assist to Boardman, yes! Number 9 as Boardman finishes that one.
She needs one more assist here to get another double-double, but just in a different way.
Not by rebounds, maybe assists this time. Think of that for your forward. Counted and one though. Boardman trying to defend, but another good work effort there for Krupa. This is a good team for Harvard.
A nice bounce pass in there.
I will say the underclassmen, the younger players are really picking up the slack here today.
Yeah, when Harvard gets their injured players back, they're going to be a nice team, I think, down towards their conference time, I'm sure.
Heath, the senior player, inactive today. Gabby Anderson, sophomore. Turner, a junior. Elstoffer, junior. We have 2 active seniors on the roster. Mulaney, the only senior active, however. Freshman playing some big minutes here today. .91 seconds on the clock. That one pops out. Again, Smith now, the double-double watch, looking for double-double number 6 on the season. She needs 1 more assist. Or 4 more rebounds. Simon crosses the timeline with 3 seconds to spare. Gets it over. Hodgson. Going over. Christopher for 3. No good. Rebounds pulled down. White trying to reverse the court. North-south. And it's a block from Simon, who sends the first-year player to her backside. Boardman gets it in. Over to Smith. And she finishes that with 60 seconds on the clock.
Again, good court awareness. Good ball movement. Good court awareness.
And that one is going to be last touched by Harvard. No foul call. And there's going to be a timeout on the court. Coach Vashon wants to talk things over here with a 14-point lead. Now the question becomes, if you look at the stat sheets, most coaches will say, I don't care about stats, but with how well Adriana's been playing, do you try to get this one swung around to see if maybe you can get another one? It'll be an official review.
If they're aware of it on the bench, which I'm sure there's somebody over there on the bench and the coaching staff is keeping stats, they may say it, but again, since it's not as close a game as it was, they may try to get it in, but close game, they probably would never even mention it.
Tough one. The whistle was before Smith's left hand dribbled the ball down. That's what the initial call was, that it was last touched by Harvard and hit the out-of-bounds mark. A new career best for Smith, by the way. Her prior for assists was 8. She's up to 9 right now. It's a stellar performance for her. You don't often see a 5'10" forward dishing out that many assists in a contest.
But the thing is, she's not only a good passer, makes good passes into the hands of her receivers.
Let's another look at this.
It looks like there was a foul before it went off Adriana's hands.
Let's see. The real question is, the call on the floor was last touched off the left hand, or the right hand, I should say, of Krupa. And it's hard to tell if it hit off of Smith in that same motion just afterwards. And the call, of course, again, was Maine basketball. So, in my opinion, I'm not a licensed official, but it looks like it'll stay.
But just finishing what I was mentioning about Adriana Smith, she is such a good passer, and she has patience. She actually waits for her teammate to get away from that defensive player or that down screen or whatever, just so she can put the ball right in their hands. Excellent passer for somebody who plays the high post a lot.
Maine with a timeout. They keep the ball, and the decision, I'm 1 for 1 today. I was right. I was right on that one. Usually I'm very wrong. Football season, I think I missed every single one of them. I was like, yeah, that kind of looks right. No, never the case.
With football, there's just so many guys piling on everything. I don't know how you can see anything anyway.
Maine with a 14-point lead. This would be a Reggie Miller-esque comeback for the Crimson. They have some talent, and they played admirably, but looks like their road trip might not start as successful as they had hoped.
Yeah, well, they haven't made too many threes in this game, so they're not going to do it by the three-point line, I don't think.
Maine likes to do this. Oh, and that's going to be assist number 10 for Adriana Smith. A double-double, make it now number 6 on the season for the leader in the NCAA.
Not sure what happened there, but...
See the replay there? That gave her number 6.
Did the official give the ball on the wrong side? No, I guess not.
Yeah, not sure exactly. Congratulations to Adriana Smith again. 12 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. Simon, by the way, with the basket now has 15 points, just a 1 behind Bournemouth. Rodriguez shifts it over. Mulaney, no good. Off the top of the hoop. Shot clock is off. A foul will be called as Mulaney be whistled for that one. Kudos are also due to Paula Mulaney. The senior moved into 10th all-time in program history. She scored over 17 points in this one.
There's a timeout here on Maine's part.
18 points for Mulaney. 10 points for White. Rodriguez also with 11 points. 12 for Abigail Wright, as that matches her career best. Black Bears led by 16 points for Caroline Boardman, 15 for Ann Simon, and of course the 12 and 10 assists for Adriana Smith.
I think Maine has four players in double figures, and again, it's what they needed. They had it against Fordham too, I believe, and they had it in this game as well. Maine needs that from at least 4 players per game. They cannot continue to depend upon Simon and Smith. Done a good job of not doing that tonight.
Yeah, and I appreciate you mentioning the 4th player, J.C. Christopher, who might have that breakout game. 3 for 4 from beyond the arc, 4 for 5 shooting overall for 13 total points.
Good game for her to gain some confidence as a young player.
The reigning player of the week, Ann Simon, 34 points versus Indiana a week ago, and then for the encore versus Fordham, well, just didn't do exactly the same thing, but put up a huge amount of points in the next contest. And Harvard will call a timeout, and Ann Simon now with 17 points.
Yeah, I think it's just amazing that the Black Bears, the first 4 weeks of the conference player of the weeks has gained all 4. 3 for Ann Simon and 1 for Adriana Smith. It's an outstanding job done by the Black Bears.
And you wonder if Simon was more motivated than ever after missing a good chunk of last season due to injury. Came back one time, then had to leave again, nursed the injury, came back, then finally was healthy and good to go right before the American East playoffs, but Black Bears ending up a game short of where they wanted to be, which was the American East title game. Albany bested them in in upstate New York, but she came back and said, I want one more season, and she has been unstoppable.
Well, I wonder if she hadn't have gotten injured, if she would have finished her career at the end of her senior year.
Yeah.
But again, I'm sure the coaching staff is glad that she's back.
If you're Harvard, though, you stayed with a Maine team that stayed with Indiana, and if you're looking at conference opponents, yeah, you handled Quinnipiac. Maine did not look good versus the Bobcats, but Princeton, who's the Ivy League favorite, lost to Indiana by a wider margin than Maine did. So we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, and you wonder what this game might have been like with Turner on the court for Harvard.
Honestly, with how close it was, I honestly think Harvard probably would have won this contest.
Well, again, it wasn't a pretty game.
No, the scoreboard's not indicative of what this contest actually was.
A lot of mistakes that were made by Maine that I haven't really seen them make before. But again, let's give credit to Harvard's full court defense and their half court pressure. They put a lot of pressure on the ball. They denied. Maine had a couple of backdoor cuts at the beginning of the game, but they adjusted. Harvard adjusted their defense and stopped those backdoor cuts. Maine's 3-point shots kept them in this one.
Yeah, Harvard actually had a pretty significant lead, erased a 3-point deficit at the break, actually took the lead by a couple of scores in the third quarter. Then Maine came back, never looked back. They've been absolutely dominating this fourth quarter. Maine now scoring the Crimson 23-14 in the fourth quarter, and no reason to hang your head if you're the Crimson bench. Just 3 players on that bench at the start of this game.
Well, I think both the team and the coaches battled in this one. I think Coach Moore had some calls that she questioned, and I don't really blame her. Those were tough calls, could have gone either way. But both the team and the coaches were battling for this one. I think she's a young coach. She's got 16 years of coaching as an assistant, but I believe this is her first head coaching job.
And already above 500, 25-15. This is a team that made it to the Great 8 of the WNIT last year, knocking off some very interesting foes. I like this backcourt set here for the Black Bears trying to break the press. Maine does have to get it over at some point. They do so, and now can just dribble the ball out and pick up win number 6 of the season. Back-to-back wins for the Black Bears, and now 11 days off before they take on the Dukes of James Madison. Big victory, 79-61, as the Black Bears test the Crimson.